got, bud? What you got? This is Kramer's favorite toy, if you don't know. We call him Mr. Quack. We should put a picture in of Kramer with Mr. Quack when we first got him. Kramer used to be so much smaller than this duck.
Oh, now he's got it, Mom. Now he's got it. Oh, oh yeah. Oh, look what I got.
Still his favorite toy.
If you're new around here, we're Chris and Sarah, and that's our pup Kramer. We're husband and wife entrepreneurs who since 2018 have been traveling full-time in our DIY Sprinter van that we recently sold to a new owner. Now we're starting all the way back at the beginning, building out our brand new, even smaller van. Our channel is typically more about our travels and adventures by both plane and van, but since COVID had other plans for our travels this summer, we're staying put a little bit longer and instead are taking you along the process of what it's like to turn this into this. Let's go. Welcome to another episode of
You've Got Mail.
So we actually filmed this video a couple videos ago and then we watched the footage and it didn't work.
It was very windy outside. This is one of our more techie videos, so you're probably only going to watch this video if you're really into van life and you're strongly considering solar. If you're not in that market, you're not going to hurt our feelings by not watching because it is pretty techie and niched.
There's a lot of information when it comes to your solar system.
We aren't going to pretend like we know exactly what we're talking about, which is why we do consult with pros, and we've encouraged a lot of people to consult pros talking about AM solar. They've been friends with us for over 2 years and have been a huge help and saved us a ton of time, stress, and money. But we encourage people to talk to pros if they're not comfortable with a certain part of their van build. We do that for our windows and our solar, and if you don't feel comfortable doing it, get help. Today, we're just gonna jump right into it. We're talking all about our solar components. Our system is going to be very similar to our last van system, but it's also got some different components, more components, to run our almost fully electric van. We're gonna be fully electric with the exception of our diesel heater. Hi, buddy.
Kramer's in a mood today.
We'll also be doing another video as we're installing the system. So as I'm putting together all the wires and all the components, I'm gonna sort of walk you guys through that and my thinking process behind it. I'm not the best at it, but I wanna show you how we're doing it. So today, we're really just talking more about what components and why we chose these components.
So before we start tearing into these boxes, we do wanna say this. This video is sponsored.
And it's sponsored in a sort of unique way. It's mainly, the sponsorship originated with our good friends over at AM Solar, and you guys have heard us talk about AM Solar a lot in past videos because they really saved our butts in our first van, and never have we been sponsored by them before until now. Never sort of incentive, it was just all singing their praise because we genuinely love their company. This time around in our new van, we have partnered with them and it's a ongoing friendship, and they actually took initiative and helped us get some really great partnerships with the components that they recommended for our system. So today we are partnering on this video with Battleborn Batteries, Zamp Solar, MicroAir, Victron Energy, and AM Solar. So thank you all to you guys. We're so excited about this system. It's gonna be legit.
It is going to be legit. All right, so the way AM Solar works is they compile all the components for you, then they box them, and then they ship them to you. So in this first box that AM Solar sent are a variety of goodies.
Yes, so we've got things like our power inlet for our shoreline. We had, I think, the exact same one last time, or very similar. Necessity, because our van system is going to be powered in 3 ways. Our battery bank is solar, alternator charging, and shoreline. This is the shoreline. This is where you plug into a landline. Not landline, shoreline.
Shoreline, from our friends at Victron.
Yeah, this is our Smart Battery Protect. We had the same one last time. Victron is sort of top of the line. They do really solid components for working with solar systems like this, and they are well known in this van world, and they came highly recommended last time. Love their products, and we're using them again. So a lot of the Victron components you see this time are the same ones we had last time. All right, so AM Solar, we talk a lot about them, but AM Solar, what they do is they offer free consultations. You can go to them, talk to them about what you're planning on running in your RV or van or whatever you're building, and they can help set you up with the perfect system for your needs. And this isn't just the major components like batteries and solar panels and, you know, inverters or whatever you need. It's everything down to the wires and lugs and heat shrink wrap. While the wires are not one of the more expensive parts of our solar system by any means, having this all sent to us and figured out and getting like good quality wires is gonna save us so much time, because these kind of things, we can't just find all of these wires and lugs in our normal hardware store. Maybe you can, but you can't find lugs as big as we have for our system at a hardware store.
You're not gonna find it at Home Depot. And it just takes the edge off. It really takes the edge off. It's one less thing you have to think about. When you're doing a van build, there's a million and one things that you're thinking about, whether it's the layout, the electricity, or insulation. There's so many variables. This takes out one of those variables. It's one thing you don't have to think about.
We live about half an hour each way from our local hardware store, which is Home Depot. I have to run to Home Depot enough, and this is saving me a ton of trips from any small thing I may have forgotten. Also, they send you diagrams, which this was the #1 selling point when we went with them last year. I was stressed to the max. I actually did an entire blog post about how AM Solar saved us literally thousands of dollars on our first van conversion, because I didn't know what I was doing. I was listening to everybody else online tell me how much they thought I needed for solar and electric in our van, and in reality, I was about to drop like 3 times the money on our solar system last time around than what we actually needed. So they not only help save us money, but they provide you diagrams to figure out how to put all this together. I was convinced I was gonna kill myself on our first van, electrical shock. I didn't. It was totally fine. I never hurt myself. But their diagrams were a huge reason why I had peace of mind and somehow managed to do our first solar system. So that's very important.
And if you're wanting to read that actual post,
I'll link it down.
Link it down below at vanlifestarterkit.com.
Wires, lots and lots of wires.
Yes.
And these big wires are for things like running the solar panel power to the solar charge controller. Oh, yeah. See, these are the lugs we were talking about. You cannot find these.
Well, you can find them, but...
You can. But I actually messed up a few of the lugs last time in our van, and I was like, oh, don't worry, I have solar. I was gonna write them and actually buy a couple extra ones, because it was my first time crimping lugs this big, and it was really hard. And I told him, like, it's okay, I'm gonna shop locally for them. I did find them locally, but it was a pain in the butt. I ended up going to some like power line place. It was one of those places where they haven't seen a woman in years. So they were very shocked when she walked in and asked for a lug.
So this right here is our
master switch.
Master switch.
We should have a couple of those.
Yeah.
Got another one here. It looks exactly the same as that one.
It basically turns the whole system off or on.
All right, we've got these little breakers. See, this is something else they do for you, is AM Solar sends everything, and it's labeled. So they send everything labeled and packaged and ready to go, and it coordinates with the diagrams they send you. So this is a 40 amp breaker, and I don't know what the 40 amp one is for. I need to double check. But when they package it up, they send all the matching lugs that go with this and the corresponding wire. So this is a 6-gauge breaker, and this is the positive terminal kit. And then they have the negative ones. So everything is just so clean and organized, and it's just a part of buying the components from it. It's not an extra service you have to pay for to buy everything labeled and diagrammed. It comes like this, and it'll save you so much time. This is the wire I had a hard time crimping last time. It is hard. It is a what, 10? Yeah. It's a 4-gauge wire.
We did find a special tool for it. We'll link it down below.
But they have more expensive, fancier tools to crimp wires.
Yeah.
But this one was cheaper, and it worked fine. It just took some practice.
Oh, hey, remember that shoreline thing?
I was getting it. This one.
Yeah, that's what this is.
So it looks a little different than your house plug. You can actually buy a connector, and there should be one in here somewhere. If not, we can get it at Walmart.
Yeah.
I think we got it.
So at campsites, you can plug these into the, I think it's the 50 amp plug.
30 amp.
Or 30
yeah,
amp?
30 amp.
30 amp, sorry.
It's more standard, actually.
Yeah, so at the campsites, they actually have a plug just for this. You don't need an adapter. But if you're at a friend's house.
Or your parents' house.
Yeah, and you need to plug up to a regular, normal electric socket. They make converters for this.
So you can just use your regular outlet at your house to charge your battery bank when you need to. Ooh, okay, yeah. So this is our MicroAir Easy Start.
The only reason we need this is because we're installing an air conditioning.
Yes. So when you power up an AC unit and you're using a battery bank to power the AC unit, it's gonna pull a big surge off your batteries, and it's a lot of work for the inverter. And so this actually sort of protects our inverter and the whole system and just allows us to pull it off without damaging anything. So MicroAir, if you're running an AC unit and you're planning to run it off your battery bank without being plugged into a shoreline or something, you're gonna want a MicroAir Easy Start. So thank you, MicroAir. This was a gift from them. Thank you guys very much.
Look at that guy. Super happy.
So we have to cut a hole in the roof for the solar wires to run through. This is to seal it up good and weather tight. Oh, you didn't have to pick that up. I could have. That's my coffee table. Whoa.
This is a heavy one.
Okay, so this is our biggest piece from Victron, and it is the same thing we had last time in our first van. This is our 3000 watt MULTIPLUS inverter by Victron. This is the same inverter charger that we had last time, and we loved it. 3000 watts is enough to pretty much allow us to do anything in our van. It's gonna be enough for our AC unit too. It's an inverter and a charger in one, and it has a power assist, which means we can use shore power and battery power running things in our van at the same time, and it can handle all the power coming in and going out and all this kind of thing. So it's a very well-rounded component, and it's actually AM Solar's best-selling one. They sell more of this than anything. So if you're in the market for an inverter, we can't recommend this one enough. This is our fuse block. I think this is the exact same one we had last time. Holds our fuses for our DC-powered electrical components. There's also a 100 amp breaker in here for our DC power.
Inside this box, ooh.
Breakers. So we got 15, 20, and 30 amp breakers. These look like the same ones that we used last time too.
Inside this little box right here, what do we have? Oh, it's the Smart Shunt by Victron.
La-ti-da. This is the biggest fuse I've ever seen in my life. We had this last time. This is one of those things that I wish I could explain to you guys exactly why we need a fuse that's that big. But truthfully, I can't. I know that it's essential, and they actually send an extra fuse just in case it ever blows. My understanding is that it's one of those things that if you... I don't know how to explain it.
I don't know how to explain it either.
Giant fuse, it's essential, you know, power goes through and then the fuse will break if something goes wrong.
Yeah.
But there's an extra one. You want to see how big this fuse is? I don't know why. Maybe they make them bigger, but look at that.
Up next, we have the ORION-TR non-isolated DC-DC charger.
This is new for us. We didn't have this last time. Anytime you see smart, that means it is compatible with Victron's apps, and you can check everything via Bluetooth on your smartphone if you have one, which most people do. Super handy. So you can get monitors for Victron, and we actually have a really cool monitor coming up in here in a second. Having it accessible via Bluetooth and just pulling up on your phone and checking your batteries and everything else is a really nice feature. So these are our solar mounts. So our solar panels did the same thing last time, where a lot of people were really scared. We told them how we mounted it.
This is crazy. Like, when you think about it, it blows my mind.
To think that we've been going down the interstate with massive solar panels mounted to the top of a van, being held on by nothing more than 3M tape.
It's crazy.
It is crazy. It worked like a charm. The second you put that solar panel down, though, you better make sure that thing's in the right spot, because it is not coming out.
Yes, like, this is special 3M tape. Please do not go to Walmart, Target, or whatever and buy 3M tape from that shelf.
This is industrial strength kind of stuff. But it works really well, and we don't like drilling holes in our van unless we have to, and that saves us from having to drill a hole in the roof of our van. There's a spider.
Stinking video. Next, we have the Victron Smart Solar Charge Controller. Speaking of solar.
Yes, so when the solar panels are up on the roof, those male and female connectors on the back of the solar panels will connect to some rather large wires that will be run through the roof and to this first. This is the first step of using the solar power to run it through the rest of the system. So it's our charger.
In this white box.
Oh, this is it.
Oh, this is legit.
Oh, another spider.
I
It's been in the garage. All right, I'm glad we opened this up before we got on camera, because at first we were like, what is it?
I thought they sent us a mini TV.
This is Victron's latest monitor, and it is super high tech. We're really excited about it. When we install our system, we'll turn it on and show you guys exactly what it looks like. The really cool feature about this, what makes it really stand out, is that we can actually give access to AM Solar to monitor our system if they need to. So say we need to troubleshoot with them, say something goes wrong with our inverter or our batteries, and we're saying, hey, our batteries don't seem to be getting a full charge. Could you guys, log in, here's access to it, check it out, see if you guys see any problems, any codes. This will actually give them access. This one's smart enough that when we allow somebody to have access, they can log in and check it out.
It's pretty cool.
So we don't anticipate needing that feature, but if we do, could save us a trip to Oregon. Okay, this may be what you guys are, this is one of the big component.
This is a big deal.
And this is, all right, so wait. Let's show it. We mentioned that a lot of our system is the same, but there are a few things that we've changed up. So what you've seen so far, if we have changed something like the new monitor, or it's just either we've needed additional parts to run our AC unit, or Victron just gifted us with some really cool new fancy components. Hi, Kramer. All right, but this one, we are switching up our batteries this time around. Last time we had Victron batteries, and first of all, I wanna say we never had any problems with our Victron batteries. They worked great. Our whole system was essentially Victron, and it worked great. However, there are some newer technologies out there and some new perks to Battleborn that are gonna kind of be essential since we're running an AC unit and we wanna potentially have this massive battery bank. So,
enter Battleborn.
So Battleborn batteries are the way we decided to go this time. And this was per AM Solar's recommendation. And Battleborn and Victron components work really well together. We love our Victron and we're incorporating them again into our new van. And Battleborn actually sells Victron monitors to monitor their batteries. Like they really do work very well together. The perk of these batteries is they can be run parallel an infinite number of times. So we have 5 100 amp hour lithium ion batteries to power our system. But that's a more conservative side. If you know us, you know that we like to start with a smaller budget, make room for more if we ever need it, just because there's no sense in hauling around a lot of extra batteries if you don't need it. AM Solar estimated that with everything that we're gonna be powering in our van, we're gonna need between 500 and 800 amp hours of lithium ion batteries. We're guessing we're probably gonna do closer to 800 because we do spend a lot of time up in like warmer weather and that kind of thing, which is gonna make our AC unit run more. And it's also gonna make our fridge work harder, which is gonna pull a lot of power. So while we started out with 5 batteries, we're gonna go ahead and save room in the van for 8 100 amp hour lithium ion batteries. So the perk of being able to run them an infinite number of times in parallel is we can connect all these batteries together and keep adding to it if we really want to. I don't see us needing more than 8 batteries. That's a lot of battery power.
That's a lot of batteries.
But we have the ability to. So without getting super techie on you guys, these batteries, the cells in the batteries, are more technologically advanced than our previous batteries. We can actually drain these batteries to 0% and not do any permanent damage to them, which is, while lithium batteries are safer than AGM batteries and they're a little bit more dummy proof, these are really dummy proof, which is good for us because you don't realize how stressful it is searching for power when your batteries get dangerously low until you're actually doing it. It didn't happen often to us, but it did happen a few times in our last van, and it gets really stressful really fast.
The other thing I really like about this company is that they are USA made. They're made right there in Reno, Nevada. And the other thing that I like, not to sound like a commercial, but they have really great customer service,
yes,
which is a huge deal for us because we like to call all the time.
They're so patient with us. I mean, when you're dropping a lot of money on electrical components, when you spend thousands of dollars on an electrical system, you want to know that if something were to go wrong, you're gonna be able to get through to them. While we never had any issues with our Victron batteries last time, they are made in the Netherlands.
They're in Europe somewhere.
They're in Europe somewhere. So if we had a problem, obviously we can always call AM Solar because they're a dealer. They're one of the vendors for them. But these guys are actually stateside and they come with a 10-year warranty, which is really nice. So if something were to happen, it's just extra protection that we're safe. I mean, we're spending thousands of dollars on batteries. We want to make sure that one, they're going to pick up the phone if we have an issue, and two, that if something were to go wrong with their battery, that we're not just out after a warranty. In our last van, we actually had an issue with a component. Had nothing to do with our electrical system. It was not Victron or anybody else. But we actually had a problem with the vendor that we purchased a pretty expensive piece from. And instead of them answering the phone call to replace something that it just was faulty from the get-go, we ended up having to buy a whole nother piece from them. It was not fun to have to re-spend money on something that was not our fault. So knowing that we have good customer service and a warranty backing it is very important, especially when you're dealing with expensive pieces.
All right, we're gonna open up the last one.
Any guesses to what this is?
Glass.
Should I get up?
No, stay right there. Oh, hold the box. Oh, it's falling.
Ow!
Da 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 da!
Look at this. All right, these are our solar panels. Kramer, you're not gonna hurt it, but I don't want you in the shot. All right, so this time around we're using Zamp Solar, which they're really top of the line. We really wanted these last time, but we couldn't quite work them into the budget. They are American made and they are the highest quality solar panel on the market. So these things, these panels, look how skinny they are too. They're glass, they're all black. We have 3 100-watt solar panels by Zamp on our van this time, or we will, they're not on the van yet. The main reason we went ahead and splurged on some really nice solar panels, besides the fact that we love supporting American-made company, these guys are from Bend, Oregon, which is one of our favorite cities in America. So in our last van, we had a 100 amp pull off our car's alternator to charge our battery bank. We didn't know until last week that apparently that's supposed to potentially void the warranty on Mercedes. It's kind of vague. We never had any issues with our warranty. They've been all in our engine and inside our van to look at our conversion, and never once has anybody blinked an eye at it. But to be safe, this time around, we're gonna go ahead and stick with a 30 amp pull off the alternator for now, which is a significant drop. Once the warranty on our van is up at 100,000 miles, we may go ahead and pull 180 amps that we potentially could get off the alternator like last time. For now, we really wanna have a good, strong solar system since we're gonna be getting less power off the alternator. So having really good solar panels was essential. So we're adding a little bit more, and we got really high quality glass panels. These are the 100-watt all black panels from Zamp Solar. They are the latest panel from them, and they are really pretty. I didn't know a solar panel could be pretty until we got these in the mail. And look at that. They look kind of blue. Look how shiny it is though. I want to say again, thank you to our friends at Balaborn, Zamp Solar, MicroAir, Victron, and AM Solar for everything you guys have done for us. We are excited to put all this to the test. We can't fully review what we think of these products yet because we haven't tested them. And we do want to let you guys know that our reviews are going to be honest. We've not committed or signed anything of we're going to give you guys a perfect review. No, they just help. They partnered with us saying, go talk about us, tell us what you think. So that's what we're gonna do.
So thanks for watching this episode of
You've Got Mail.
And we will see you in the next video.
See ya.